Hey, how's it going? Before this video starts, I'm going to explain what an iceberg is for those who are unfamiliar with this type of videos. A iceberg is a tier list that begins with the most common trivia and theories at the top to the least common at the bottom. Now that I got that out the way, let's roll the intro. Missing Coach was the episode that was originally developed for the second series of Thomas and Friends, but was canceled halfway through filming. The episodes were based on the stories Hello Twins and The Missing Coach from the Railway series, The Twin Engines. In this episode, the Fat Controller orders a new engine from Scotland. However, two identical twin engines named Donald and Douglas arrive instead. The Fat Controller sees that the engines have lost their numbers and paint new numbers on their tenders and gets Duck to show them around. The twins soon discover that one engine was supposed to be sent and that the other engine would need to go back. After realizing that Douglas is the one that might go back, and after mistakenly misplacing Thomas's special coach, Douglas creates a plan with Donald and his driver to swap tenders in order to swap identities, which will give Douglas a chance to avoid being yelled at by the Fat Controller. During the interview, it was explained that this episode entered production on May in 1985 and was halfway through filming. Britt Allcroft decided to cancel the episode because she thought the plot would be too difficult for children to understand. Thomas Down the Mine is the original unaired 1983 test pilot of Thomas and Friends. Britt Allcroft acquired the rights to produce episodes based on the Railway series for television. She spent over 2 years meeting with animators and watching test reels, deciding what type of animation she would use for the series. The choices were classical, stop motion, or claymation. After meeting David Mitton, it was decided that live action model animation would be used. A low-budget pre-production test pilot episode was produced to pitch the series to several networks on April 3rd, 1983.
Fire and smoke, said Thomas. I am sunk. And he was. Oh dear, he said, I am a silly engine.
Gordon Goes Foreign was an episode planned for the second series that was canceled due to budgetary restraints. It was based on the story of the same name from the Railway series book, The 8 Famous Engines. The director's cut of Thomas and the Magic Railroad was originally filmed around 1999 and also shown to a test audience at a private screening around the same time. Nearly 20 years passed before the public could finally watch the original version of the film after it was released online on December 23rd in 2019. The main reason why the director's cut wasn't released in theaters was because the test audience complained that the Diesel 10 would be too scary for younger children. Storytime with Thomas was an American television series that aired on Fox Family on September 6 in 1999. Each broadcast consists of 2 episodes from the first 5 Thomas series with a short music video at the start and 1 episode of The Magic Adventures of Mumphy. A total of 40 episodes were produced before the show ended. The Adventures of Thomas was planned to be a theatrical film, but according to director Shane Acker, the film was canceled after being pushed back several times. The film would have taken place in London during World War II and revolved around a preteen boy who's been separated from his father. The Sad Story of Henry was an episode of the BBC children's television series, which was broadcast on June 14th in 1953. The episode was based on the story of the same name from the Railway series. These episodes were scheduled to be broadcast during the BBC Children's Hour. It is believed that this episode no longer exists because it was a live broadcast and it was likely never recorded, and because of the BBC's track record of wiping their archives, any recording that may have existed was most likely deleted. Andrew Lloyd Webber is a British musician. Lloyd Webber read the Railway series as a child and was such a big fan of the series that he wanted to adapt it into a musical television program. Granada TV even produced a pilot episode in 1976, but the project ended up being cancelled. Mad Bomber is a YouTube video that was created by Leo Henry. The video is titled Mad Bomber Episode 1 Twisted Thomas Parody, and it's the first and only episode of Mad Bomber. Bomber Diesel's theme is the canceled second episode of Mad Bomber. The canceled episode is commonly referred to as the video, or the video, which we won't talk about. Jack and the Pat was supposed to be a Thomas and Friends spinoff that would have competed with Bob the Builder, but since Hit Entertainment already had Bob the Builder, the idea was scrapped. And since half of the series is already produced and production costs were so expensive, Hit Entertainment made Jack and the Pat a part of Thomas and Friends and rebranded the series into Jack and the Soda Construction Company. Barry the Rescue Engine is the canceled volume of the Railway series. It is unknown which issue it was going to be, but Christopher Awdry has stated that the book had been created in the 1980s and was most likely replaced by the 30th issue. The Austerity engine is a saddle tank engine that the Fat Controller had intended to purchase for the Northwestern Railway. The Fat Controller felt that he needed an extra engine that was small but powerful to give extra assistance on the Iceberg branch. The second series of Thomas and Friends premiered on September 24th in 1986. The majority of the episodes were based on the stories written by Wilbert Awdry. Christopher Awdry, his son, was commissioned to write a new book as source material for the second series. Percy's Promise, Gordon Goes Foreign, and Doubleheader were considered but were dropped and replaced by Christopher Awdry's new stories. Mr. Moose's Fun Time was a spin-off series of the Captain Kangaroo reboot. The series featured shows that were seen around the world, including the first 4 seasons of Thomas and Friends. Mr. Moose's Fun Time had 60 episodes that aired, but only 3 episodes have been uploaded on YouTube.
Mr. Moose's Fun Time. Mr. Moose's Fun Time. Come along and join the happy, crazy laugh time. Mr. Moose's Fun Time.
Engine of the Future and Hugo the Airship was supposed to be a 2-in-1 mystery adventure book. The book was designed for kids ages 3 to 7 and was originally meant to be released on January 2nd in 2017. The book kept getting pushed back until eventually it was canceled. During the production of Thomas and the Magic Railroad, some of the songs that were produced were cut in the final production. Some of the songs include The Girl in Green, The Night Train, The Little Engines, The Whistling Song, and many more. Stanley's Shed is a shed located somewhere near Great Waterton. Although the shed was fully modeled for the film The Great Discovery, it did not appear for some unknown reason. My Thomas Audiobook Library was an audiobook featuring stories from the My Thomas Story Library book series. The audiobook was supposed to be released on CD and as an MP3 download. The audiobook was supposed to be released on February 1st in 2016, but it was canceled. It is currently unknown if the audiobook will ever be released.